Yo guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Untitled Games and welcome to another episode of the Minecraft City Let's Play series. In today's video, we're going to be working on, I'm not even sure. I'm going to be honest, I haven't even planned this at all. I'm just coming on here to make a video. Last episode, however, we did work on this cool little modern, not even modern, well, kind of modern. It's kind of like a Dubai theme, kind of like a modern themed apartment building, I suppose. I do like how it turned out, though. It's looking really cool. Got nice balconies, which will be facing the water. This is the port, actually. And I don't know if I've mentioned that before, and I think I probably have. But for anybody wondering, let's fix a couple things here. Let's go to that kind of FOV and maybe get our inventory back. This is going to be the port, though, where the ships all dock. Not sure exactly how we're going to go about doing that just yet. I think we have enough room here. We should. Even if the port docks just come out to like here or something, we don't hit across the river until where? Yeah, so right over there, and it kind of helps if I do this, you can see in the corner that is where the other side of the river is, and that's where we're building the docks. Honestly, yeah, it should be enough room. We probably won't have super big boats in here, but it will fit them. Anyway, I'm already distracted, but now it's kind of giving me an idea that we should maybe start working on this port today. Why not? That could be kind of fun. Not sure what this gray line is here for, but yeah, why don't we do that? Oh, maybe this is supposed to be the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's a fail if that's supposed to be the middle. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we should open this up so they're all 4 blocks wide. But why don't we do some work on the cargo port here? What we're gonna set up is essentially the docks, the cargo, maybe a crane if we can get around to it. This might not all happen today, but these are just some proposed ideas. Anyway, what we'll do is we're so limited on space here, but we're gonna figure this out. So the entrance is obviously right here. We have got this little weird curve thing going on, which I guess we are including to this somehow. And I'm kind of thinking we should maybe do something like this and then something like this. I'm not even sure. Anyway, what we'll do is we will just maybe even just leave this all to be black. Actually, no, we'll do something like this, and then we'll continue this road down here. Okay, so we've got the basic kind of layout for a road now. What I want to start off here with is a gatehouse, obviously. We're going to need one of those to kind of check the trucks in and out of the place. It's going to be positioned right here. Going to be just a nice little white gatehouse. And we're going to just put in here. And then what I'm also thinking that would be kind of funny here to put along the wall. And we got to be careful because these fences connect. But I was thinking maybe what we could do is get some of these guys going. Maybe something like this. Yep, definitely. That looks pretty good. Can you guys guess what these are? We got some porta potties. Every place needs them. Maybe we'll put a little toilet in there, a little pretend toilet. Okay. But no, that's kind of that's a good idea, right? I don't know. Maybe we should have a little entrance on this side so the employees can access the so-called porta potties, which they kind of look like porta potties. They're not the best job of a porta potty, but you know what? They'll do just fine. We'll put another door right here. Okay, we now enter our little entry screening checkpoint thing, which kind of just is really there to direct the trucks as to where to go. I'm thinking for whatever reason, don't they like weigh the trucks on their way out or something? Maybe that could be like a little scale for the trucks. Anyway, what we're going to do here is have a little door again right here so the dude can get out if needed. And then we'll have a little window section right here, which kind of allows them to communicate. Okay, cool. We also are going to need some little barrier walls in here, so let's go ahead and add some of those. Just trying to think about the best way to do this. Maybe we just go ahead and do some of these. In fact, maybe this just has to happen on this side. Aha, and then one of those right here would be a good idea as well. Oh, there's just a dude that spawned. How's it going, buddy? Oh, is he coming to the house maybe? That's probably why he spawned, because we put a door there. Oh, he's stuck on the barrier. Anyway, let's finish up this little build here. This is just going to be, again, for the truck checkpoint, and then we'll keep going here. Now, obviously, every good port, at least most of them, have water nearby. Some sort of water source. It usually helps when you're trying to bring boats in to have water nearby. So I'm thinking we're going to add some here to ours. So what we can simply do is probably just use a fill command to build out most of this. I'm not exactly sure even if this is going to be too much to fill or what. But if we go down here like to there and then just go water, does that work? Nearly broke the game, but yeah, it does actually work, which is perfect. And we've run into some more problems. Of course, because we are one block above everything, we have run into another issue. Yeah, the river is actually quite a bit lower on this side, so we're going to go back and kind of fix that. So 63 to 63 should now be air, and this should help fix our issue. Perfect, so it's a good start, but we need to actually make this quite a bit bigger for this to be a functional port of any sort. So we're just going to keep going. I'm going to build this out a little ways, see how far we can do it. How big was the one that we just filled? 4,400? No, sorry, 21,000. So we can go a little bit bigger than that, but I think the limit is 30-something thousand blocks, so we don't want to have more than that. That still went through, and that's giving us a pretty good idea of how much room we'll have in this little harbor area. Now, I also want to include some sort of passenger harbor at some point with some ferries, but for this one, we are just going to be going with this regular style harbor. Now, what do we want to do? Well, we want some sort of barrier still, so this is probably going to be what we're going to use. And now what I'm thinking here first is a very basic little wooden dock, which includes some of the really small boats that they would use to maybe guide some of the ships. Maybe the harbor captains will just go there. So we'll just simply set up this little dock out here, and this should help maybe park some of those boats. We'll probably make some of them later. I'm trying to think, do we need room for tugboats? We probably do on one side of the on the docks. All right, we'll add some little floaty kind of canister things to the bottom of this dock. Some pontoons if you're getting more technical in boat terms. And this would help the dock float, of course, so we'll just add them on either side here just to make it more realistic. Pretty cool. And then this is obviously like the little walkway or ramp over to the dock, which would go something like that. There's our first little dock in place. Now, because we have decided that we want to have tugboats in here, we're going to leave some room for them. So what we're going to do is build out our first dock. Now, our first dock, just thinking technically, probably wants about 7 or 8 blocks here of working room. So we'll go with 8. Then we probably need another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 blocks for maybe like the cranes and some cargo storage. Just thinking here, if we draw out some cargo bins and call them about this size, that would allow us to put about 3 of them in there. And then 1, 2, 3. I want to add a road that goes down this one. So maybe we do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then a couple more blocks for the ship on this side, which I think we'll probably do with that much. In fact, I'm going to take off a couple on each side for the ship because I don't think that we actually needed that much room. But something along those lines should work just fine for our dock. In fact, I'm even cutting it shorter because I just don't want it to look too stubby. So 5 blocks on either side will be enough. I'm also thinking maybe we should bring this road down in size by 1 just because it's like a 2-lane or just a single lane road. 7 should do. Speaking 3 blocks wide for cars, that should be enough room. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do now is basically build up a base of this thing. So what we're going to do is maybe just start with here and go all the way over to here. I have no idea what's an appropriate size for this dock, but probably somewhere out to here, I would guess, is probably where we're trying to go. Yeah, I'd say that looks like an appropriate size for a dock. And then if we go and double check that size with our river size here, we still leave, I think, enough room, hopefully. Yeah, I would say that's probably going to be enough room there. So that's perfect. I may make some adjustments to make the river wider in this area on the other side. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. We can obviously, fix that if needed. So there we go. I think that's also just a good looking size, though, for a dock. So there we go. Now, I think for this first episode, we're just going to kind of work on this dock here. I still have a little bit of time, so why don't we go ahead here and start just sort of laying out what we want the general top of the dock to look like. I'm not thinking that we'll get able to build a crane today, but what we can do is hopefully put some containers up of different colors and just start setting up for the potential of having a ship here at some point in the near future. So there's our concrete road, which will actually eventually join into here. I think I can actually just do this with the same command. Cool. And now what we also need to do is add in some cargo containers, which is what I wanted to add here at first. I think the size that we should use should maybe be either 9 or 11 blocks long. I think 11 blocks long looks reasonable, and then we'll go by 3 blocks wide, and we'll see how this looks. And then by 3 blocks tall, I think would also be a good sort of measure of height and storage for these containers. Yeah, I'd say it looks like a pretty standard shipping container, besides the fact that it's built out of wood, but I do want to add a whole bunch of different colors. So what we're going to do now is clone this guy. And we're going to just simply paste it along the entire port here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fill each one of these guys with a different color. And this is basically, I'm going to go ahead and place down every container ship or every container here. If we move on to the next one, it's got to be, 206 by 203. And this is going to be maybe, we could do like blue wool and so forth. So I'm basically going to go ahead and design like a whole bunch of different containers everywhere. And that's going to kind of help fill up this cargo port at first. So I'm going to go ahead now and add some more color to these guys. I pasted a couple ones up here just because this obviously helps with the overall aesthetic. A lot of the cargo containers do have a lot of color. Anyway, we'll go with some maybe dark prismarine. No, let's go with maybe dark blue. Dark blue is not a thing. What else is a thing? Purple concrete. Replace Minecraft. In fact, we could just do purple concrete as a whole. It doesn't really matter. They don't have to be... Yeah, they don't actually have to be hollow, so this would make this a lot easier. Yeah, I don't have to clone and everything. I can just do the one command. I don't know why I didn't think about that first. Obviously, these middle ones don't really have to be touched. I'm not too worried about them. And bam, we got quite a few crates going now. I'm going to add maybe one more row of them here, and then we'll leave some room for, accessing the ships. Okay, so we got basically a little pile of cargo started now. It's looking pretty random and cool, which I'm liking. And now what we're going to do is add sort of like an access point in between these two. This would just be like a little road that forklifts could drive on or whatever, and it kind of helps them get over to the boats and whatnot. And there we go, though. That gives you a pretty good idea of what we're going to be planning here. I think we're going to do a couple more cargo containers here, and then maybe start to lay out a spot for a crane right here. In fact, give me a few seconds. We're going to place a couple more of the cargo containers down here to kind of make this thing look finished. We're going to leave a spot for a crane and maybe place a couple more down at the end. All right, so I just popped off camera for a minute, and I'm pretty happy with how this crane kind of turned out. I'm not sure if I'm 100% set on it yet. I might replace it with something slightly better, but you know what? I think for a first attempt, it was pretty good. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. What else did I do? I added a couple more cargo crates, of course. There's a little kind of outline on the ground, which we're gonna need a lot more of as we start to grow this harbor out, as well as some more cargo containers at the end here. So obviously this is a very limited space harbor in terms of the amount of space I left for it. Probably should have left quite a bit more space, but nevertheless, this is what we got. But yeah, I think we'll be able to make it work. Hopefully with some larger sort of areas for I don't know, cargo. We might even end up just closing this all in or making one big huge block of I can't talk today, of this polished andesite, and just having more and more cranes on it. Maybe like a big sort of square if I can get not what I wanted. Oh geez. If we could do like maybe some sort of big huge square that comes out and goes like that and then goes like that and then comes back around, and that's where we store all the cargo. I'm not really sure. But we're going to come up with something creative because this probably isn't enough space. But anyway, it's a good start. And obviously it's going to give you a nice little view from up here in the condos. You can kind of see the crane and what's happening down the port. Cool spot to hang out. Anyway, I'm going to end it there because, yeah, I'm way over time on this video. But if you guys did enjoy, please remember to go below, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all in the next video.